You know, every society has a kind of blueprint for how its people should be treated. It's a set of rules and promises. Today, we're going to take a look at the one designed for the Philippines, a really foundational framework that spells out the rights of every single citizen. I mean, really let that sink in for a second. We're not talking about rights that a government gives you or something you have to earn. Nope. These are yours just because you're you. So let's break down exactly what that means in the Philippine context. In the Philippines, they call it Karapatang pantao. And this whole concept, well, it really boils down to three incredibly powerful ideas. First, they're innate, which means you're just born with them. Second, they're universal, so they apply to absolutely everyone, everywhere, no exceptions. And finally, they're eternal, meaning they can't be taken away from you. There's this great local expression for it, likas or taglay, which just means innate or inherent. It's such a simple phrase, but wow, it captures the entire philosophy, right? These rights aren't some privilege or granted. They are literally part of what makes you human. Okay, so a big universal idea is great, right? But how does it actually become a guarantee? You know, something you can really count on? Well, that happens when these big global principles get written down into national law. Let's follow that journey. So the story here really has two key moments. It starts back in 1948, when the whole world came together and adopted the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Flash forward to 1987, and the Philippines took those exact global principles and wove them right into its new constitution. And just like that, an international ideal became a national promise. And that promise, it became the absolute foundation. You see, the Constitution isn't just a dusty old rulebook. It's the blueprint for building a humane and democratic society. It's the legal bedrock that holds up the entire structure of Filipino rights. Now, any strong foundation needs pillars to hold it up, right? And in the Philippines, you've got a few key ones. Of course, there's the Constitution itself. Then you have the Commission on Human Rights, an independent body created specifically to look into violations. And there's also the National Observance of Human Rights Day on December 10th, a really important yearly reminder of this core commitment. All right, so to make sure these rights are actually protected, they're not just thrown together in a big list, they're carefully organized into a clear system with 5 distinct categories, and each one is designed to protect a different but equally crucial part of our lives. So here are the 5 big ones. You've got civil rights, which are all about your personal freedoms. Political rights, which is your right to have a say in how you're governed. Economic rights, covering your ability to work and get fair pay. Social rights, for things like access to education and healthcare. And finally, cultural rights, which is all about preserving your heritage. Put them all together and you've got a pretty comprehensive shield. But you might be wondering, why break it down like this? Why these specific categories? Why not just have one long list of rights? Well, the reason gets to the very heart of why this framework even exists. It's all about this idea, upang mas mapangalagaan ang dignidad at kapakanan ng bawat isa. Basically, to better protect the dignity and welfare of everyone. This structure makes sure that no part of a person's life gets ignored. It's a truly holistic way of looking at protection. So you see, this whole system isn't just some abstract academic thing. It's a real-world shield. It gives everyday citizens a clear way to understand what they're entitled to, and it creates a really robust defense against abuse and injustice. Okay, so we looked at what these rights are and how they're protected. But that leaves us with the biggest question of all, doesn't it? Why? Why does this blueprint matter so much? Not just for one person, but for the entire country. Because here's the bottom line. This whole system, from that big universal idea all the way to national law, it's not just about stopping bad things from happening. It's really about building something good. It's the framework you need to create a nation where peace and progress can actually grow, all because every single person's dignity is put right at the center of it all. So we've walked through the blueprint, we've seen the pillars holding it up, and we understand its purpose. I want to leave you with this final thought to chew on. How does this framework, these rights we all have from the moment we're born, how does it actively work day in and day out to build a truly just society? Now that's the ongoing challenge.